Welcome everyone to the final credits. My name's Big Rin. I'm joined along with Johnny64, Joey Pancakes, and Mike
Who likes
Spade.
pancakes?
Right now, we're going to talk about Batman in the movies. We're going to talk about these two topics real quick that has come up recently, and we're going to discuss. Topic number one, Matt Reeves' Batman. Batman has only been nominated for 3 things in the 2023 Oscars. Some are complaining that's not enough. Needs more nominations. Guys, let's talk about this. Does it need more nominations?
Well, so what were the 3 nominations exactly?
The nominations, I believe, were for Spade. You got that list?
Give me a second. Hold on.
Okay. I am failing as a host.
What? Okay. So it says here the Batman earned nominations for Best Sound, Best Makeup and Hairstyling, and Best Visual Effects.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump in because everyone else is just like, look, realistically though, it doesn't matter what you're nominated for. I mean, how often are people nominated for an Oscar? They're not, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that you got 3 nominations doesn't matter what they are. You could turn around and say, well, you know what? I was in an Oscar-nominated movie, regardless of what your nomination was. So, can it get Best Sound? I mean,
the
maybe.
soundtrack was very good. I'm gonna be
It
honest.
was.
Like
I'm not saying it was bad.
Was very good. I will agree with that.
What about Best Makeup and Hairstyling?
No.
I mean, I would have put like I would have expected them to get like an award like around set design in a way, because if that movie had any strong points, it was that, like the dark noir setting, a lot of practical sets being used, a lot of practical effects being used, things like that. Most of the shots that we got in that movie were like just very visually appealing, and the tone and the aesthetic of every set that we got in that movie, I think, was like really good. So I feel like the awards that they are being nominated for like just don't really line up with what I thought was good. Obviously, it's subjective, but yeah, that I think that's like what my issue would be with that.
Do you guys want to hear? Do you guys want to hear for the Best Makeup and Hairstyling? Do you want to see who else was nominated for it other than the Batman?
Top Gun.
Okay,
Avatar.
ready for this?
I'm afraid.
All right, so we got
Please
the
don't say
Batman.
Avatar.
Yeah. See again?
No. Pancakes is right. Avatar: The Way of Water, The Batman, All Quiet on the Western Front,
Okay,
Elvis, and Top Gun: Maverick. Let's be real here. If Avatar wins, I'd be very fucking pissed off.
It's not makeup. It's mocap.
Makeup.
Yeah,
It's
thank
mocap,
you.
not makeup.
Oh my god.
Here's my argument. Here's my argument for that. Ready?
What's the makeup? The motion dots on your face?
all right.
Here's my argument for it. Ready?
Yeah.
Listen to this. Years ago, when they remade The Lion King, okay, that wasn't shot. They didn't give that a nomination for animation. They said it was a live action movie, or was it the other way around? Regardless, why would Avatar win for best makeup? There's no makeup in that movie at all. It's all CGI.
That's what I'm saying. It's all tap dots. Anyway,
guys,
back to Batman.
We've already crapped all over Avatar: The Way of Water, rightfully so. But we need to not only move on, but Pancakes hasn't given us his opinion yet. Pancakes, what do you think right now?
Okay, so well-deserved nominations. I agree with Spade that no matter what the category, you could say you're an Oscar-nominated film. But here's the thing, though. I mean, it's lightened up a lot over the years, but when it comes to superhero movies, I feel like the technical categories, special effects, it's like it gets those nominations, but I feel like it gets overlooked for the biggest categories of them all. Should I name off what else it should have been nominated for? Or
I'm going to throw
I-
one
I
in there
did.
right now.
Okay.
It was,
So I still feel like there's a stigma
best
against
visual
superhero.
effects.
Cinematography.
Yeah, definitely deserves to be in the running for that, and he could even win those. But I still think there's a stigma against superhero movies. Yes, there's been breakthroughs. Heath Ledger, Black Panther getting a Best Oscar nomination, but at the end of the day, it's still storytelling. There's still great acting, great writing.
Pancakes. Not to interrupt you, but I'm going to interrupt you. And the reason why I'm going to interrupt you is because the people at the Oscars are old farts, right? So what they want, okay, is storytelling, realistic storytelling. If you look at all the previous winners of Best Pictures, okay, there have always been stories that they're real, like, what was it, 12 years of slave
I get that. I
and all
get
these
that.
other things. They can't, the people who are doing the Oscars, they can't believe that a superhero movie that should be just for kids, that adults are also watching, can be a best picture. You understand?
All right, so
I think. Well, let me just jump in on that too, because I think you're half right, Spade. You're right in the fact that people that are judging the Oscar nominations are old farts, absolutely, and they're out of touch, absolutely. But Batman, the thing with Batman is, and superheroes and movies in general, but Batman, I think especially, is that it's a franchise that's been rebooted like to hell. Like we've had how many iterations of Batman have we had since the 60s? And people who are old farts now, they were around back then when we had Adam West being Batman. So to them, I think they look at this Batman movie and they're like, oh, okay, another Batman movie. Look, there's Batman. Look, there's the Riddler. Look, there's the Penguin. And more of this, to them, it's like more of the same thing that they've gotten again and again and again for decades. And even if this movie, which it did, it stood out. It was very visually appealing. I thought it had a good story and everything. I remember coming out of that movie thinking, wow, that may or may not have been as good, if not better, than The Dark Knight. But looking back, I think that's a little too. That was a little too high praise.
The Dark Knight.
That was a little too high praise.
Funny that you mentioned that.
But my point is basically is that the thorn in Batman side in general is that he has just been probably the most rebooted movie franchise of all time, and an Oscar judge looking at that is just going to see Batman as Batman, and it's like, oh, all right, like it looks good, but like it's not, like, to them it's never going to be a groundbreaking movie. Definitely not as much as The Dark Knight was. Which is what I misconstrued when I first saw the movie, like I said. But
as I was saying, should have been nominated for Best Director, Matt Reeves. Best Adapted Screenplay, Matt Reeves and Peter Craig. Best Actor, Robert Pattinson. Best Supporting Actor, a case could be made for Paul Dano, who played the Riddler, or John Turturro as Carmine Falcone.
Or
I think you're overthinking it, Pancakes. Overthinking it, because none of their performances are performances that would be Oscar level, in my opinion.
Paul Dano was amazing.
Paul Dano, maybe as a supporting character, maybe, but really, you're gonna do Twilight Boy as a best actor?
Now, hang on.
I mean,
I'm gonna defend Pattinson for a hot second.
But no,
in a sense, he's no longer Twilight Boy.
Right. Now he's Batman.
Has done phenomenal
he's baby Batman.
Movies
He's baby Batman now. I'm pointing it. Baby Bat.
He's done great characters since Twilight.
No, he has. I'm saying that in jest. But
he is Batboy and Lighthouse Boy.
Right. Have you seen Cosmopolitan? I think it was called Cosmopolitan. That was a great movie too.
Mm-hmm.
So he's an esteemed actor.
His acting varies, but I don't think that him playing Batman is something that he should win an Oscar for, because personally, I think Ben Affleck played a better Batman than he did.
Yes, he did.
So why can't Ben Affleck win one?
Yes,
right?
But the point is, should have been nominated too.
Well, let's just nominate everyone.
Yeah,
and everyone
all right, never mind.
Clearly, Pancakes is on the side of majority of others who agrees. Yes, the Batman should have been nominated for a lot more things this year, as opposed to the three measly nominations for the greatest trophy you could get in acting. Ugh. But let's shift over to what Johnny64 mentioned earlier in regards to The Dark Knight. Recently, Steven Spielberg has stated that if Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight was made today, not just today, like in this time right now, it would earn Best Picture. What are your thoughts about that? Because I have opinions.
Can I just start with that? Because I mean,
Are they,
Sure,
the
bud.
are
dark
they
no,
grim opinions?
no, personally for me, The Dark Knight when it first came out, I before then I had never been obsessed with a movie, the way it was written, the way it was shot, the way that the characters acted and everything, all the little details that you'd have to watch the movie more than once for. I remember watching that movie again and again and again just to study every little detail of it, and it really changed the game in terms of how like not just like a superhero movie could be made, but like any crime flick. I feel like the Joker, that iteration of the Joker, like with Heath Ledger, again, not with just superhero villains, but with just villains in general, having like that extra side to them and having that extra like layer to their acting method, and just like making you think as a viewer, as like, why is he doing this? In his case, he was just an agent of chaos. He just does it because he wants to do it, but it made you want to know more about him, and it made you want to like look into his relationship with Batman more, like between like hero and villain. And it like Marvel, like the MCU, really, I think even that takes it has a lot to thank The Dark Knight for in terms of bringing that sort of movie to the audience that we have today for superhero movies. But compared to Matt Reeves' Batman, listen, Paul Dano as the Riddler, he did a phenomenal job, right? But I felt like he felt the need to just take the psychotic acting to like 11, because it's like, okay, this is how Heath Ledger got really iconic and famous as the Joker. I'm the Riddler. This is the spin that they're putting on it. He's like a madman, like serial killer who has like an internet following. If Heath Ledger brought things to this level, I got to bring things to that level, to this level with that type of acting. And I feel like it brought things back a notch. It was like almost counterintuitive in a way. But yeah, I mean, if The Dark Knight had come out, let's say like the Matt Reeves Batman came out in 2008 and The Dark Knight came out like, now, like last year, it would have been the same thing. The Dark Knight just would have been still like that groundbreaking movie in terms of like what it turned on its head from what was to be expected from a superhero movie and a crime flick, up until that point. But yeah, I mean, The Dark Knight is obviously just going to be a forever legendary movie, and I totally agree with Steven Spielberg with his thoughts there.
All right, fair enough. Spade, you want to weigh in on that?
Look, I can understand why people are complaining that the Batman only got 3 nominations when the Dark Knight got 8 nominations. It makes sense. I can understand it. Personally, I think the Batman was a better movie than the Dark Knight, but I digress.
Right.
The point is that the Dark Knight got nominated for Best Supporting Actor, Best Production Design, Best Makeup and Hairstyling, Best Sound Mixing, Best Film Editing, Best Cinematography, Best Visual Effects, and Best Sound Editing. I don't know which ones it won. It was nominated for 8. We all know that Heath Ledger won Best Supporting Actor, but like he played a really good Joker, and I understand why they gave him the Oscar, because he passed.
Don't say no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I don't know, man. I mean, look, again, I really look. I really love his
Oh,
iteration.
God.
Wish for this one.
I do, guys. I really like
Oh.
the way he portrayed the Joker.
Uh-huh.
Is it Oscar worthy?
Yes.
Let me tell you a story.
No, boy.
I don't think so.
In West Philadelphia, born and raised.
And I don't think it was back then. And I definitely do not agree with Spielberg, who is the god. And like I could praise Spielberg because I think out of the hundreds of movies that he's made, which is not hundreds, but out of all the movies that he's made, I think I don't like 2 of them. Okay.
That's fair.
But he is an almighty God. He is great. He is an amazing director, an amazing producer. I don't agree with him saying that Dark Knight today would win more Oscars than it previously did.
All right. Pancakes, you want to weigh in on this? We got 1-1.
It's kind of a relief. It's kind of cool because Spielberg comes from that same class as Martin Scorsese and Coppola, who, even though they were Marvel films, kind of frowned upon the superhero movies recently. But for Spielberg, who is a god in some ways, like maybe the best director ever, depending on who you ask. So I would have to agree with him because in 2022-23, it's more open and more accepting of superhero movies. Like I know what I just said with Matt Reeves, the Batman. But if you take that movie out, put The Dark Knight in, I think it would at least get a nomination. Winning, even though that would be my great hope, I still think it would fall short, but it definitely would deserve at least a Best Picture nomination.
But why is that your hope, though? Why do you hope that the Batman or any comic book movie would win Best Picture? I mean, look, we've all seen comic book movies, but I don't feel like they're written or they're acted on in ways where that whole movie should be, it's better than all the movies throughout the whole year.
I wouldn't have even expected like Endgame to be Best Picture. Like when it comes to superhero movies, like Best Picture, like that's you need to really be
the best movie of the year that has come out,
right,
within a certain amount of time.
And like I said, superhero movies, Batman especially, you know, it's been done again. Technically, to its core, it's been done again and again and again. It's not. Yeah. It's never going to be in a place where it's going to be groundbreaking enough to win Best Picture.
It was stated earlier, essentially, that the Academy is run by a bunch of older people who are stuck in their ways and will not move forward at all. And that's fine. That's well and good. Continue to pay whatever large sum of money you will in order to get a little golden man. Now, I'm going to weigh in on this.
Uh-oh.
Yes, the moment you've all dreaded.
Things are really about to get grim. He's going to live up to his name.
The Dark Knight, I felt, was not worth the praise that it got. I know. Hold your things. Okay, do it. Do it.
Keep going. I'll wait till you make your point.
You can't change this channel, Pancakes. We're live.
Why won't it change?
So, having said all that, Heath Ledger did a phenomenal job. I've said this in the past. I do still stand by it. While he did do a phenomenal job, it also goes to promote that you kind of have to die in real life to get an Oscar for a comic book movie. And that is terrible. You shouldn't have to put yourself, or for that to be recognized that you passed away, oh, let's nominate him. Absolutely not. That sends the worst message out there. Visual effects, the other acting, everything else.
Bro. Come on.
How do you know that was the reason?
Come on. All right, guys, what other comic book movie got nominated for Best Supporting Actor before that? Oh,
what
wait.
What comic book movie achieved what the Dark Knight achieved at that time?
No, Johnny, I asked you a question. Wait,
Okay, I'm gonna tell you one thing. And this is going to be very controversial. You ready for this? I'm going to tell you all the actors who were nominated in the supporting role for 2009 when Heath Ledger was nominated. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you right after I finish it, I'm going to tell you two people I thought should have won. Ready? Number 1, Heath Ledger, The Dark Knight. Number 2, Josh Brolin, Milk. Number 3, Robert Downey Jr., Tropic Thunder. Number 4, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Doubt. And number 5, Michael Shannon, Revolutionary Road. There's only 2 people I think should have won an Oscar that day, and that was Philip Seymour Hoffman,
Rest in peace.
and Robert Downey Jr. Those are the only
Robert
2 people.
Downey Jr.
Really?
for that movie?
Yes.
For that
What?
movie?
No way,
Yes.
bro.
It was a funny movie. Don't get
It
me
doesn't
wrong.
matter. Regardless,
you just undid your entire.
to this day, listen, guys, to this day, Tropic Thunder is being talked about to this day.
And
Why?
it's Dark Knight.
Because it was a white guy who played a black guy, who played a white guy, who played a black guy. Okay.
You are way
Right?
overstating its legacy. Absolutely. People
Nope.
talk about it. People remember it, but they're not talking. The Dark
All they
Knight.
do is talk
their
about
joke-
his performance in that movie.
No, it's not nearly as iconic as Heath Ledger's.
I don't think
Joker.
so. I think you're wrong.
Absolutely not. No, I think you're wrong on that. Absolutely, dude. Even before Heath Ledger died, his character was making headlines, like how it looked, how people weren't confident at first, and then when the first trailer came out, people like that. He was all people were talking about. When it came out, that was all people were talking about, and it changed. Like I said, it changed the game for those movies. Yeah. No, but to this day, when people think of movies with the Joker in it, people think of him first, and
absolutely not.
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill.
No, but live action. I mean, live action Jokers.
No,
Mark Hamill. The animated series is a completely different animal.
All right, if you want to get specific, fine. We'll get specific.
Because the Batman the animated series isn't winning any Oscars.
Listen, Batman.
It's a TV show.
Listen to me, Johnny, okay? Batman had a theatrical release. Not a lot of people saw it
Mask of
because
the
of
Phantasm.
poor marketing, but it still has it, which makes Mark Hamill a theatrical Joker.
Yeah, I get it. Mask of the Phantasm was a movie. It had. You're right. It had a terrible run because of bad marketing.
Others did not. I recognize that.
Spade, I thought you were
Just
going
so
to
you
say.
guys know, the 1989 Batman film with Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton won an Oscar for Best Art Direction.
That's art direction. That has nothing to do with the character.
You still
the
won an
actor.
Oscar, Johnny. Mm-hmm. The point is, you could put that on your resume and say, "Hey, I won an Oscar." Did you?
So Batman 1989 won an Oscar, and so did the Dark Knight.
Okay,
it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me.
Hey, Johnny, everyone's still alive in the '89 Batman.
Okay, great. So then, does that not?
Played Harvey Dent died. The black dude who played Harvey Dent in that movie. I think he's old and died.
Billy D. Williams.
Was it Billy D? No.
No,
yeah, he played Harvey Dent in the first Batman. He was set to become Two-Face, and he got recasted.
Right.
Yeah. No, I think Billy D's still with us.
Is he?
Regardless, he didn't have to, go to that whole next level in order to do it, and then try to find a coping mechanism after it, and unfortunately die because of it.
So, okay, Spade and Graham, let me respond to both your points. Spade, I thought you were going to say Josh Brolin.
He's 85 years old.
I thought you were going to say Josh Brolin or Michael Shannon for their performances in those movies. Robert Downey Jr. was great in Tropic Thunder, hilarious, something that can't even roll out today, even though that's 15 years ago. Graham, the death of Heath Ledger definitely added intrigue and attention to the movie, extra attention. But I think his performance was so good, I still think it would have gotten the same reaction and reception. I don't know if it would still have won the Oscar, but I think it was still worth the nomination. So
I think all I will say is that he absolutely, if he was still alive, he absolutely still could have been nominated, and he still could have won.
That is definitely a possibility, but we've also shared a lot of our thoughts on this one. We want to know what you guys have to think. Please like, share, subscribe. Let us know what's going on down there. Hit that little actual notification bell to actually subscribe to our stuff. And right now, that's about it. So roll credits. We out.
Roll credits.